welcome back to my channel. I am Simming in Oz and this is creating the village of Hogsmeade. I hadn't intended to do this build at all, I originally intended this lot to be the site of the Malfoy manor, and I even went in there to start the Malfoy manor, but then I pulled out the train tracks out of the show hidden objects menu and I was just like, oh man, I could build Hogsmeade. And unfortunately, Glimmerbrook, the place where my Harry Potter save is set, only has like 4 or 5 lots, and then maybe the bigger lot in the magical world, which is for Hogwarts, of course. So I'd originally never planned to do Hogsmeade because I had to sort of prioritize who I wanted to fit into Glimmerbrook and the magical world from my Harry Potter save. So at the moment, I've got Hagrid, I've got Diagon Alley, I've got the Burrow, and now I have Hogsmeade Station. I was originally going to put Malfoy Manor and Grimmauld Place in there, but I think I'm going to change up the plan a little bit because I am just having so much fun with these Harry Potter builds. I am more wanting to prioritize community lots right now for all of the characters to hang out in, and I'm finding the list of characters that I'm going to actually make for this save is getting frighteningly long. So there's absolutely no chance that I'm going to fit all of these characters and all of these builds into one neighborhood. I'm just going to have to compromise and stick everyone either in Henford Bangley or elsewhere. So that just means more builds for me, which I'm not going to complain about. So that means that I can build Hogsmeade Station within Glimmerbrook. That leaves me with one or maybe a few more community lots I could do for the Harry Potter save to actually put in Glimmerbrook, and then I can just relocate the Burrow and whatever else goes into Glimmerbrook that's a residential. So if you have any ideas on Harry Potter commercial buildings that you want to actually see, maybe the Ministry of Magic, though I don't know what I'd actually make the Ministry do. Like, would it just be a community lot? Would it be some kind of professional lot? I'm not sure, but if you have any ideas, please let me know. I feel like it needs a function for me to actually do it. I can't just build a lot and have it just be a lot. It has to do something. So for this lot, I am making Hogsmeade, and this is where the station is, and this is where typically the kids would pull in on the Hogwarts Express, and they would arrive at Hogsmeade, and then they'd take the short trip either by carriage or by boat, if you're a first year, up to the castle. And it works really well because within this lot, there's actually a river right next to it, and that river actually goes up towards the, quote, magical world in The Sims 4, where the entrance is in that little archway on the waterfall. So I thought, oh my god, it's perfect. So here I am, I'm creating a little, I'd like to think of this place as the place you get your tickets and the place you send your mail. It's sort of like a little post office / ticket counter office. It's the sort of person that, runs the trains and everything, and I thought it's looked so cute. I recently just bought the one that gives you all the commercial stuff for little boutiques and stuff, little cafes. I can't remember the name of it right now, but I just bought that, and it was the shining star of this build right here. am super happy with how the train station actually turned out. Like, it's this cute little train station that's probably in a small little town, and the town of Hogsmeade is not that big, at least in this build it's not. I think I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little buildings accompanying it, and all of them are basically commercial buildings with some sort of reference that people might live there, like there's clotheslines and stuff like that, but otherwise it's all just little commercial lots. So here I am putting down some cases and some luggage for the kids who've just gotten off the Hogwarts Express, and I just tried to find every single bit of luggage I could within The Sims 4. Now, here's the rub. The Hogwarts Express is not red, I'm sorry. I don't actually end up keeping this red train right here at the very front. I do keep the back carriage, which is red, that's my compromise. But the train I actually end up going for is just standard color, very fits in with the world a little bit more. It fits the style of what the original train would be rather than the color of it. So it was a happy compromise, and I hope it turned out okay. And these trees with the little bits of snow on them saved this build. Like, I cannot tell you, like Hogsmeade itself, you think of it and you think of it during the snow and the winter and everything. So I wanted to just bring a little bit of a Christmassy vibe and everything. So here I am, you've got the trees, you've got the snow on them, and I just think it adds such character to this build. And what I really loved, and this is sort of my headcanon for the town of Hogsmeade within this Harry Potter save, is that the town was not always here. It was sort of just like imported in, like it fell right out of the sky and just smashed right into the ground, and here it is. That's my canon for this, because as you'll see later on in this video, or maybe I've already popped it in, I actually took the broken bridge that actually floats in the air within the magical realm. I think if you zoom out while you're in the magical world, you'll see this bridge. It's in pieces, it floats sort of in space, and I've actually put that bridge above this lot. You'll see peaks of it every now and then when I zoom out, but it's actually floating above this lot of Hogsmeade. And my headcanon is that the bridge was whole once, and when Hogsmeade came and just crashed right into the ground, or they just portkeyed it in or something, it smashed right through the bridge, and that bridge is now permanently just breaking apart all at once in the sky, and that's my headcanon for Hogsmeade. So yeah, that's how they imported this little town into their village. So here I am making the buildings, and I've said this in the past, I struggle with big lots, but this isn't a big lot for me. It's actually quite small, and I found it was just so much easier just to try and fill up space and fit everything in the space when I've got less to work with. It gives me a bit of a challenge with big lots. I've got too much space, and I just find that so overwhelming, so this was a happy accident. As you can see, I'm trying to make the buildings very magical and tall, and just sort of a lot of variation in, you know, character, and they look same right now, but I actually go through and I give them different colors, different styles, depending on what the shop actually is. I think in the end I do the candy store, I do Honeydukes, yes I do Honeydukes, I do the Three Broomsticks, I do a little apothecary, and a little bookstore, I think. I didn't do Zonko's joke shop. I don't know how to do a joke shop in The Sims 4, and I looked through all of my objects and I thought, I don't know how to make this work other than making it a little toy store. If I want to go back and make a toy store, I can, and I can make that Zonko's joke shop, and that would actually be quite cute. Now that I'm thinking about it and recording this and thinking back on this, I'm like, damn, that's a really good idea. I could have made a child's toy shop and made that Zonko's joke shop. I could make that right there. Okay. I might go back and change that. Stand by. The bookstore better watch its back because it's not long for this world. Now we come to the Three Broomsticks. I remember it being very dingy, and it's sort of just, it's there. It gets visited by the Hogwarts kids a lot. And technically, I suppose they wouldn't be able to drink alcohol, but Rosmerta, maybe she looks the other way. I have actually made Rosmerta in this save, though the video hasn't come out yet for this channel. It will be. I think she turned out so gorgeous. I took some creative liberties with Rosmerta. And you'll actually be able to see her in one of the photos at the end of this video where I do the big slideshow, because she is absolutely gorgeous and I'm so happy. She's going to actually be working at Hogsmeade in-game, so I've decided to make Hogsmeade an actual restaurant lot and have the Three Broomsticks be a little eatery. Obviously pub grub, maybe some magical options, I'm not quite sure yet, but that's essentially what we're going for in terms of eatery options and the purpose of this lot, because Diagon Alley is a retail lot, and of course I had to fit a restaurant in there somewhere, so Hogsmeade it is, being a little restaurant with some pub grub, and I think it's so gorgeous. I wanted to also tie in as many details as I could, so one of the best things and the funnest things I think of this build is under the candy store, and you'll see me build it a bit later. I actually have a secret passageway to Hogwarts. So in the books, it's canon that there is a secret passageway from under Hogwarts going into Hogsmeade. So I made a secret little passageway under the candy store, and you have to go through one of those secret bookcase entrance to get to it. And then the actual secret entrance to the tunnels is the tunnel version of the sewer that you get from the werewolf pack. And if you click on it, you can actually have an option that says explore the tunnels. And I just thought that was so incredible. I'm like, oh my god, you can explore the secret tunnels under Hogwarts. That's great. So yeah, I loved it so much. Contrary to Diagon Alley, which is very all over the place in terms of style, I wanted Hogsmeade to have a very particular style. So the pathways are all still a bit rustic, and the town itself is quite rustic, but it's actually quite well off. I think Diagon Alley is just a bit more run down, I'd say, whereas Hogsmeade, I feel like Hogsmeade's got a good ecosystem going on. It gets lots of business from Hogwarts, and a few people live there, and it's just a quaint little town. So I wanted to give it a bit more of a shine versus Diagon Alley. So as you can see, everything's just a bit more expensive looking and well maintained. It's got some flowers, apart from the Three Broomsticks, which is a shack. The place has got this lovely country rustic charm to it, and I think it all just lends itself to a nice cohesive sort of theme across the whole build and the whole world as a whole. When I go out onto the neighbourhood lot and I see the Burrow and Hagrid and Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade, I just can't help but smile because it's all so cohesive and in theme, and it just makes my simming little heart smile that everything is detailed and cohesive and just works with each other. So I'm very excited, and I can't wait for future builds. I constantly think about what builds I'm going to do next and what people will fill the world, and it goes beyond Harry Potter, it goes beyond all the other fandoms, and I'm so excited. It's going to be a weird day where I actually step away from the Harry Potter fandom and start making other fandoms within this save, but right now I am hyper focused on Harry Potter, and we'll see what happens. Here I am placing the debris in the sky. So when I do my little zoom out and zoom in at the beginning and end of this video, you can actually snag the debris in the sky if you're watching the video closely. I just think it's such a fun little detail, and even when you zoom out and actually look at the property from a big neighborhood view and just sort of click tab and look around, it just adds such a magical quality to the whole neighborhood, in that there's all this debris just floating in the sky, and it's like, oh, this is magic. Yep, I like this. And here I am making the Three Broomsticks, the restaurant, and I wanted to aim for dingy, dark, but also, it's still a restaurant, so we have to try. So I put in some fireplaces, I put in an upper level just because I wanted more room. I still have a little area that, it's got booths in it, because booths are such a staple of the Three Broomsticks in canon, in the books and any other media. So yes, it has to have booths. And I'm looking forward to making the actual staff members of these places. I've already made Rosmerta, but I don't know who else to make. I think I just might make general characters of the magical world and just pop them in, maybe take some creative liberties and go, yes, this is the chef for the Three Broomsticks, and this is a waiter for the Three Broomsticks, and it's going to be fun. I don't know who's going to own this retail restaurant. It can't be the Malfoys. They can't own everything. Like, they can own the right to the Weasleys' land and hike up their rent because they're their landlords. They can own Diagon Alley because they need their money somewhere, but they can't own the Three Broomsticks. So who should own it? I'm just wondering. I'll give it some thought and I'll think about it. Maybe even Rosmerta could own it. I didn't have any plans for her to live like somewhere specific, but if I moved her into a little unit somewhere and I think I'm going to have to actually make a little unit of magical apartments just so I can fit some of my side characters in it. I don't know if it's going to be in Glimmerbrook, but it will definitely have to be a little block of units and just have little people living there, and I can have Rosmerta live there. If I'm being honest, I've actually been looking for a place to put, this is going to be morbid, brace yourself. I've actually been looking for a place to make the Potter cottage that's been abandoned since Harry's parents died. And I'm thinking maybe I can make the village where that little cottage is and make it a apartment complex lot. So have someone own it, and I can have Rosmerta live in one of the units, and I can also have one of the units be an abandoned cottage where maybe the ghosts of Harry's parents actually live and they just haunt this little cottage lot. Oh my gosh, okay, yeah, that's the plan. I'm glad I sorted that one out. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, that's going to be a build coming up then. I'm going to make a little village where the Potters were murdered, and I'm going to have just other little houses there for people to live, and it's going to be all side characters and the Potters, so, and a little cemetery. Oh man, okay, yeah, alright, that's happening. Can you tell I'm so professional, making up plans on the fly when I'm recording voiceover for my videos? This is probably where I do all my best thinking, honestly. So like and subscribe. I'm so professional. I'm finishing off the Three Broomsticks now, and it is dingy and a little bit torn apart. I love every time I put down scratches from the werewolf pack. I'm like, yes, werewolves were here. I've got, I also put down some garlic and everything on a few of the stores just because I don't want vampires to come knocking. I also have a very tentative plan involving vampires for the Harry Potter world in the save. So it's not finalized yet. I'm still thinking about it, but I have a fun idea for the vampires and how they're actually going to be involved in the world, or at least one vampire in particular. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a bit out there, so bear with me, but I'm looking forward to it. And here I am making the underground cavern for the secret entrance back into Hogwarts. And it was fun. It's dingy. It's got a little fireplace down there, and I put like little leaflets and everything on the exit just as like Hogwarts is just spilling out of this little tunnel, and I just think it's so fun in the end. Another thing I also put in for details is little paw prints just going in and out of the tunnel. And this is my theory. While the canon of this story is that Sirius Black is still in prison, or he's in Grimmauld Place, I'm not sure where on the timeline this is, it's all over the place, but I love the idea that he's going in and out of Hogwarts as the Grim and going and checking things out, and that's how he gets in and out of Hogwarts, because of course he uses the secret passageways. So I put some little paw prints going in and out of that little tunnel there, and I thought, oh, that is a nice little detail. I like that. It adds such character to it. And then I'm just finishing things off. I'm furnishing. I had a little bit of a challenge furnishing the stores just because I couldn't technically make them buyable stores. Like, you can't buy things from them because the lot is classed as a restaurant lot. So here I am just filling up the candy store with ice cream and soda and cupcakes and just trying my best. Interiors aren't my strong suit. I try my best. I'm hoping to get better at them in the future, but you know, we live and learn. And this is the potion store. There already is a potion store at Diagon Alley, but I thought, you know what, Snape and Poppy would probably really appreciate just a little tiny potion store and apothecary near Hogwarts, just for those emergency moments where they just need some supplies. So I feel like this little apothecary is in business with Hogwarts to supply them with supplies for their hospital wing, which I'm looking forward to making. I have tentative plans constantly to make Hogwarts. I'm trying to visualize it in my head, but I've also not gone in and seen how small that lot is yet, because that's going to break my spirit when I see how tiny that lot is in the magical world, where I have to somehow fit all of Hogwarts on it. And I am ambitious. I'm an ambitious builder, and I'd want to include everything. I'm talking all the common rooms, Chamber of Secrets, if I could swing it, the hospital wing and the room of requirement, the Quidditch pitch, the dungeons, the astronomy tower, absolutely everything. I would have the Great Hall, and I'd have the kitchens under the Great Hall where the elves work. And I'm still laughing at the elf, Dobby the elf I made for the Malfoy family. He's the most cursed little thing I've ever seen, and I still laugh at him. It's actually a girl. I wasn't focusing on gender when I made Dobby in my Malfoy family, which the video is already out. You can go watch it yourself and watch me absolutely lose it, but I made Dobby and I didn't actually clock on that he was a girl, and I'm like, alright, well, it's not the worst thing in the world, like, sure, yeah, we can work with that. But at the time of making it, I just honestly was not focused on gender at all. I was more focused on getting his eyes and his ears right and his clothes right. I just was not thinking about it, so I might leave it, it's fine. Dobby can be a girl in this save. It's so cute. Oh, it's the sweetest little thing. Okay, so we're coming to the end of it now, and here we are. I'm so happy with how this build turned out, as I'm happy with how all my builds turned out. As you can see here, here's the bridge, and I love it so much. But thank you so much for coming along. If you liked this build, please give a thought to liking and subscribing and coming along with it in this journey with us. I really enjoyed it, and I have so many more ideas for the future and so many more characters. I'm looking forward to it, and I'd love to have you along. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.